welcome to the first episode of Ridiculously Funny Comedy Podcast. I'm your host, Miss Lloyd. With me today is my co-host, Donnie Johnson, and we have a special guest who is the legendary Miss Marsha Warfield.
Yes.
So today we're going to talk about hot topics, things that are going on in the on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the news media. But first, we want to introduce you.
Okay.
Miss Warfield. You may remember her. Those of you who had a television in the late '80s or early '80s. I don't want to. I know it was the 80s, 90s, who had a television. The television show was Night Court. But you've been in more than that, though. I remember movies, but I just can't remember the name of the movies.
Oh, I've done a lot of stuff. I was in DC Cab.
I remember DC Cab.
In the Marva Collins story with Cicely Tyson and Morgan Freeman. I was in...
Morgan was alive then?
Morgan has been alive forever. And he wrote the very first song. I did Empty Nest after Night Court. I've done...
What was the guy from Empty Nest? He played on soap for a while. What was his name?
Richard Mulligan.
Richard Mulligan. I used to like him.
Sweetheart. He's a
Yeah,
really
boy,
sweet man.
Huh?
Bull, huh?
No, that was Richard Mall.
Yeah.
Richard Mall was on Night Court.
But Mulligan was the guy who had the big dog.
Oh, excuse me. He was the one on soap, and he was in...
What was he on soap? Because I used to watch soap.
Soap. He was the husband who disappeared.
Yeah. Not Billy Crystal.
With the blonde hair.
Yeah, blonde hair.
I know you talking. He always was like animated. I know you. We always used to see space aliens. Okay. I love soap. Soap with this.
Yeah. So let's get into these hot topics.
Okay.
Let's get into them.
Oh my goodness! Did you see the Stacey Dash interview this morning on Fox?
Yes.
And what's your take on that, Miss Warfield? Marsha, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I think she's entitled to her opinion.
Right.
And I was not surprised by anything she said. Anybody who's surprised by anything she says by now is just looking to be surprised.
Right.
Because that's why you go to her, because she's going to say what she said.
Right.
And it's an interesting thing to me, is how people will try to assign your blackness for you if they don't agree with you. You know, like she's not black because she said something I don't like. Well, yeah, she's black.
But she also said before that she's not black though. So she's denied her blackness.
Well, who hasn't? I mean, no, I'm not kidding. I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, it don't matter what she denied. Okay, if Soledad O'Brien says she's black. Says she herself is black.
Right.
Well, put Stacey Dash next to her.
Okay.
There's no doubt.
Right.
But it don't matter what she say. It don't matter whether I agree with her politically. Clarence Thomas is still going to be a black Supreme Court justice.
Right.
Whether we like what he says and how he rules or not. And we have to stop excluding ourselves from our own conversation just because we don't like it. It's like kicking people out the family because, they ate the last piece of chicken. Well, you know not to give them no more chicken or to hide the chicken when they come over because you know how they're going to do. And so Stacey Dash being Stacey Dash don't bother me. That's her thing. Let her have it,
Yeah, I mean, I think, everybody entitled to their own situation. I also believe, too, that it's bigger than just a feeling. I don't think if it was a paycheck there, I don't think it would be like that. Like it wouldn't be that brash. Also, I think too that will pay her to say that type of stuff though. Like she has to be there though because they can't say it.
So not only that, I'm glad you said that because the first thing I thought about is when you make those TV appearances. Correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Marsha. Aren't you paid to be on that set sometime? Not all the time?
But no, she's an affiliate though. She's there though.
If she's paid by the network, if she's a correspondent or whatever, analyst or whatever they want to call her, yes, she gets a salary. But just to be on the news, No, you don't get no money.
Yeah, no.
So she must be
No,
an employee of
no. Like
she's
this,
always
like
there.
this, like
She's
this.
always
Like
there.
she's part of a Black Tea Party.
Okay.
If you feel
But
what
what
I'm
did
saying,
she
though.
say? What did she really say?
What-
Okay.
She didn't say anything that was
No, this
true.
is what she said was this, that we either need to integrate or segregate, and I feel that. Don't get me wrong.
Right,
I do feel that. I do feel that though, because I think that as Black people we do complain about a lot of stuff that really has no. We don't need to complain about it. So then when there's stuff comes up that we need to complain about, we just sound like we complaining again.
Right.
There's some big issues that we need to like this Oscars, man. Why are we complaining about that?
Right.
Yeah,
It's been
but
going
see,
on for
it's
80 years.
important. I think it's all important, but I think we have the wrong definition of unity. Okay? As long as we have a united goal, you're going to have different voices having different opinions. Every organization group I've ever been in had that. If you look back at the civil rights movement, even before, there were the separatist people and there were the people who wanted to integrate. There were the people who were, there's always been differences of opinion. Everybody had the same goal.
But isn't that a part of America, though? I mean, just being able to voice your own opinion and have your own ideas and be with this group and be with that group. Isn't that what America's about?
Well, yeah, but
Yes.
it's not even just that. It's just communications with people. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can all have the same goal, right? If we're all working on a project, let's say at work, and we all have the same goal to do whatever the project is. Well, I might come at it from this way, you come at it from that way. If we're all thinking the same thoughts and doing the same thing, ain't nothing ever gonna grow.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is going to be any different than it was a minute ago. If we're looking to really move forward, we got to listen to everybody.
Yeah.
And like I said, what did she say? See, I think what I found with people is that they jump into their opinions in the middle of the problem. See, she's talking about how the BET and all this kind of stuff, we don't need it. But she's not realizing that those things came about because
There was a reason for that.
Exactly.
because of the discrimination.
That's
Okay? Well, if
Great
she
point.
picks it up from where she's aware of it or whatever, that it was always existed, then she doesn't have that frame of reference. And I'm not saying she doesn't. I'm saying a lot of people do.
Yeah.
At this point, not have that same frame of reference because they come into the problem as if things have been already conquered and stuff where you're not looking at the whole big picture.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a journey. We're not at the end of the journey looking back. And she's at the end of the journey looking back and not realizing that we're just halfway there.
right.
And you say halfway?
Well, you know.
Almost or halfway?
Well, that depends on what you want.
I mean, it's like the cup being half full or half empty. So halfway there, I think at some point, I don't think we'll ever get
I don't
get
think
past.
I don't
We'll
think
never
we'll
get
ever
past
get.
racism.
I think we get that's. But it's more of this. It's
I
the
don't
equality.
care what you
Yeah.
think of me.
It's the equality.
I don't care. I'm talking about as far as racism. I don't care what you think of me. Just don't stop me.
Right.
Right.
Get
That's
out
what
my
I'm
way.
But even with the Oscars, I think as an artist and a thespian myself, I think we all like accolades and awards, and we want to be recognized for our work.
Yes.
But she made a valid point about the BET Awards, saying that it's a black award ceremony, but there have been white people who won on that award. But I think the same number of whites that has won on the BET Awards matches the same number of blacks that has won on the Golden Globe. I mean,
But the
on the
key-
Oscars.
If y'all had been fair
Right.
and shared your ball,
Right.
we wouldn't have started a smaller game
Right.
in the
There would be no
neighborhood.
Black History
Right.
Month if you
It's
didn't.
just that simple.
That's what it is, though.
It's just that simple. So don't come crying to me because you like my neighborhood game and you don't think it's fair that,
right.
you know, I got my own neighborhood game. You still ain't asked me to play in your game.
That's
That's
so real.
That's a
And
good
that's
way of
the
putting
truth.
it.
No, that is what it is. That's what it is.
That's a good way of putting it.
Everything that we do, like especially that's kind of conclusive to us, is because like when people be like, if you're pro-black, that don't mean you anti-white. But there's a reason that there's pro-black, because we gotta be pro-black, because we gotta have us, because you're not letting us play with you. You don't want us to play with you, so we gotta go do our own thing And now that's even the same thing with the Black Lives Matter. The Black Lives Matter thing came out. It was kind of like, wait a minute, hold up. Wait, all lives matter. No, all lives matter since this Flint, Michigan stuff been going on though. But all lives matter though because it's more of a like, wait, hold up, Black lives matter, white lives matter too. Like,
ain't nobody
and
ever
we not
said
excluding
just
them.
Black lives matter.
Yeah, you're right.
That
That's-
don't make
That's
no
that don't
sense.
make no. That's
That
what's
don't
ignorant.
make no sense.
Yeah.
It was if all lives mattered, we
have-
wouldn't need a Black Lives Matter hashtag.
Right.
Don't
Right.
insult my
Intelligence. Thank you.
from left field like I'm stupid and I
Man.
can't figure this out.
It's pro-black because there was always been anti-black. That's
If
the only
you-
reason that it's pro-black.
You know, there's another side to it. I ask people, I like to ask provocative questions on
Go ahead,
social
go ahead.
media.
Yeah.
And I ask people, have you ever declared that you are an American? And the answers were very interesting. But the truth of the matter is, until we can all say without irony, without apology, and without anything, that yes, I'm an American, and really feel I am just as American as you. I'm not asking you for nothing. Move.
Right. Let me do
Move.
my thing.
And I'm glad you said that because on job applications there have been those boxes you check if I'm male or female and African American or non-Hispanic. I never check any of them. You don't need to know. I mean, I'm
check
not.
all mine.
I'm not declaring.
I am a
Just
black
create one, black one in there.
woman. Did they have gay black woman with both legs? I want you to count me.
So just check all the boxes.
I am. I am me.
Hispanic,
Just
I'm
draw
white,
your own
I'm-
and I'm funny.
I'm
I'm
claiming
draw my
all
own, I'm funny.
mine. See, because I'm not ashamed of mine.
Right.
I'm not ashamed of being none of I am.
Right.
So if you have a problem with that, then you have to deal with that
Right.
because I'm too busy being me and not having a
I'm not the
problem
time
with
to be
you.
worried about what you got going on though, right now. If more people worried about themselves, just worried about yourself and get yourself together, the world would move so much smoothly. Like it would just move smoothly. Help out when you can, but work on you though.
Right.
Get you right. But we too busy trying to get somebody else right or trying to tell them what's wrong with them.
Janet Hubert also made a video about the Oscars in response to Jada Pinkett's video. Was Janet a little bitter at Will still? No, in my opinion, Janet has always been bitter because
Well,
Nikki-
you imagine
hold on, Nikki-
how would you like it? You showed up and it was another you at your job.
you're not Vivian no more. Okay.
You
So-
just, okay, this ain't your job no more. You don't get paid no more. You don't get, you didn't.
But you know what they
exist.
didn't
Look at you.
change though?
That's you over there.
Right. Vivian left pregnant, remember? And then she came back and they had the little boy, Nikki. Nikki was still dark skinned like the first Vivian. So that was really Vivian, baby. I think that's where her bitterness comes from. Like, that's my,
They took
that's
my
my
baby.
Yeah.
Hey, give me back my baby.
I want my daddy record.
Lime melon, lemon jelly.
Yes, yes. So, but
But
she also made a point too. I think if you boycotted or stood up to Hollywood, you'll be another Monique and not have a job.
Monique got a job.
Well, I mean, she's doing. I mean, but she hasn't done the silver screen since.
You can't not stand up.
Right.
Right. I'm not saying not
You
stand
can't
up,
not
but
stand up. And I think we've had too many years recently of people being reluctant to stand up because, just like you said, they're afraid something's going to happen to them. Well, ain't nothing going to happen to you. Trust. Chances are, given the way things are, you wasn't going to get another job no way. And it ain't got nothing to do with your talent. That's what the problem is. That's what people are fighting about. So that there'll be more opportunities and more jobs available. So if it ain't going to be no jobs no way, okay, and I don't say nothing, then it ain't going to never be no job.
Right.
You got to stand up.
You got
to. What I would like to see happen at the Oscars is I would like for Chris Rock, Cheryl Boone Isaacs, Quincy Jones, Jada, Will, everybody who was going to be part of that show to come out at the opening and explain why they won't be there after a minute.
Well, this is what I would like to
and turn around and walk off.
Chris Rock, I would like to see Chris go up there. Hey, it's Chris Rock do his monologue, and in the middle of his monologue, while explaining why he shouldn't be there, announce all the winners.
Announce all of them real quick.
Real quick, before they cut him off and take him to commercial.
Yeah, but he don't have the answer.
Right. I mean, just make up some stuff.
I just think everybody should come out, united, stand there, explain why they can't be part of the show, and wish the Oscars well. And let them
go.
Do it at the red carpet. Do this. Who are you wearing? Oh, I'm wearing Black Sachi. Who are you expecting to win tonight? Well, none of the people I expect to win are here.
Right.
So I'm just here in support of those people that pay to see us.
I mean, again, it's you know, we want to be recognized.
Right.
In that forum, in that field. We want them to recognize us. Honestly, that's what it really comes to.
No, I don't feel like
but
that.
Can you blame the panel on the Oscars, the Academy Awards? They're older white people.
That's what I'm.
I mean, they can't relate to Straight Outta Compton.
That's what I'm saying, though.
They shouldn't have to. You can't relate to half the other movies when they make movies about Kumsliflaflable and you know, he was
and I never looked
ex-Bavarian goat herder, and it's the riveting story of how he makes cheese. And then next thing you know, it's Academy Award.
But I mean, too.
You shouldn't have to. The artistry of the film should be the criteria and not its subject or anything like that. They shouldn't have to be.
This is my thing. It's coming from, again, it's who's the people viewing these people, who's the people viewing these movies, who's the people selecting these movies.
It's an older people.
Like that, but that's what I'm saying too. So like, especially like us as black people, we be like, we go watch black movies. So we on the level, like we some of the movies that get nominated, we haven't never even heard of. We've never seen, we've never heard, we don't know these actors. And it's like, we're asking them, like, yo, where's our movies at? The movies that we like. But the people that selecting movies to be in here, whatever category it is, they don't watch our movies.
Oh, we get mad when movies we don't like don't get nominated.
I already know but that goes back to what I was saying earlier about the complaining.
We ain't going to see whatever this movie is. Ain't go see
I like
it.
Whatever movie, white, black, whoever.
But I'm just saying, it'll be a movie that you just know you ain't gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
But it's made by black people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you know you ain't gonna see it, right? And you'll be dissing it when it's out.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't get nominated,
now you mad.
Now you mad. Well, you didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
It's not that you didn't want to see it.
How dare you not like the movie that I didn't like when it was coming out? Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. So do you think that buying bootleg movies plays a role in this as well? We're not patronizing the theaters, so they're not seeing these sales, and they're not seeing that the people are going to the movies to see these movies. If we're paying to see these type of movies from the corner store and not going into the theaters, does that play a role into how
I like a bootleg every now and then.
I don't
go to the movies, honestly. I really don't.
Here's the thing. It manifests itself at the Oscars, right? Okay, this is where it becomes obvious that there's a lack of diversity in production, there's a lack of diversity in casting, there's a lack of diversity in writing, there's a lack of diversity at every stage, distribution, production, every stage of artistry, there's a lack of diversity. So now it all comes to head at the Oscars. And so then you want to fix little stuff. You know, it's like, I don't feel good. Wash my feet. That ain't going to fix what's wrong with you. So even if you are giving Oscars, if there's still not enough diversity to present a broad spectrum of perspectives and life experiences and artistry and dreams and everything that goes into making the magic of film and entertainment, then what are you doing? you're just spot fixing a huge problem, which is the lack of diversity across the board, and not just in filmmaking.
Yeah, in everything.
In everything.
In everything, though. That's really what it comes down to. That's really what everybody is trying to say when it comes to any type of social injustice or whatever. There's a lack of everybody being involved. There's basically a dictator. There's a dictator that calls the shots. Even if you got a valid point, if they don't want to hear it, man, we're not hearing that. We see the video. We see it. We understand. But no, we're not gonna deal with that now though. Oh, you thought you won the election? Oh no, hold on, wait. Give me 2 hours. We'll make it different. You know what I'm saying? That's that's what it is though.
But the more involved you are in the more steps, in the more of the process.
So what I think needs to happen is we need to have more people of color, Latinos, Asians, blacks, on this panel of Oscars.
But we know that.
How
do we do that?
But we also need an age difference. Everybody can't be 75 people. No. I mean, 75-year-olds. I mean, no. we need people of all age groups.
Right.
But the people that control that won't allow that.
It's not so much that they won't allow. It's the system itself is geared to sales. Okay, when you got to sell to a particular, you want to sell the most possible. So you break everything up into groups. I can sell this to 15 to 17-year-old Hispanic kids. I can sell this to 45 to 60-year-old Jewish ladies.
We're basically designed to categorize. We categorize everything. I mean, this is a uniform we wear.
Yeah.
So we play on a different team.
So we have to eliminate that kind of mindset and say, you know, and a lot of this stuff happened in my lifetime. There was a time you didn't see Pampers commercials with little black babies.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is okay. We ain't talking.
So now we have to understand that we when I was talking about halfway there, we've been taking these baby steps that have been counted as huge leaps, but really, and they were, but they didn't really take us here.
Man, we still got a ways to go.
Okay. So we have our freedom, but we don't have our freedom papers, or vice versa.
Well, if you're looking for freedom papers, that means somebody is chasing you.
Right.
Let's go on. Let's move on. So let's talk about Bill Cosby. How you feeling about Bill, Donnie? In my opinion, I think that if you and I say this in my routine, in my stand up, if I can't keep a secret when it comes to good dick or bad dick. I'm telling somebody.
I feel you.
I'm telling somebody. And I'm not gonna hold that good dick in and bad dick in and not tell nobody. Secondly, if I'm fucking a celebrity, somebody gonna know it.
Right.
So I'm telling somebody. So for these women to hold this secret in for 30 plus years and not share it with anybody, I just feel like it's made up.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
I'm not saying rape don't happen.
I believe there's some truth in there. I believe he done something to somebody. I don't mean that. Now, see, too, when we throw rape out there, that's aggressive. Like he put something in somebody's drink. Like he didn't just like, you know what I'm saying? Rape is more. That's the visualization that we put on it.
Maybe a few of them consented.
I believe they was gonna do it anyway, but I think also too, given the era and the time, I'm pretty sure the chicks that whatever he did that to, that happened to them from other people too. Like it was just what was going on in that time. But I'm more tripping. No, Bill, you don't have to do that. Now, if you worked at the factory, then I kind of could understand what you talk. But you Bill though, they in your presence for a reason, and given the time and the era, it really was like they know what's going on. They know what's going on. If you in there with a black person in 1960,
right, you go to this hotel room.
Yeah, you better be
going to get some dick.
What else are you doing though?
Right. And again, I just feel like it was the thing to do for white people to try to get some black meat, and for them to not say something. I know they told Sally and Cindy, "Oh, I just fucked the shit out of Bill."
One chick went back 3 times after she felt she got something put in her drink. You go back 3 times? Come on now.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
liked it.
come on now.
Can
For
you
real?
give me another one of those drinks you gave me last
Right.
time?
Yeah, the last one was darker. What's wrong with this one? This one is light. What are you trying to do to me?
It's awfully cloudy.
Yeah. Where that other one at? That stink that had steam rising.
Marsha, how do you feel about him?
I saw you over here to change positions like
I ain't got nothing to say. I know Bill.
No, just let me ask this question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You come to my office. We're talking, we're having a good time, we laugh and whatever. I give you a drink, you have the drink, and then you wake up sore with your pants around your ankles. And I'm at the door talking about, hey, come on. Come on. Let's go.
I couldn't hold it in.
Yeah.
You couldn't. In 1965, it was a different world. In 1968, in 1972.
But again, you're right. But those women, he could have gone to jail.
I mean, he
and
could have got killed in public.
Yes,
They could have lynched him in
told
public, and people would have paid to watch that. Is what I'm saying. You could have in the '60s.
He wasn't the Bill Cosby he was in the '90s, in the '80s.
But that's what it is too, though, because we judging Huxtable.
Yeah.
Because that's really what it is when it comes down. We don't know Bill, because we don't know Bill.
It's the same Bill?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Bill Cosby, and I say this with great admiration and respect. Bill Cosby has been iconic since the early days of his career. He was a groundbreaking performer. Yeah. He was in the upper elite of show business.
Okay.
Now, we're not talking black show business or whatever. He was one of the first crossover, huge, big stars. He earned everything. Okay. He was socially active. He was very much into education. He was very much into children and being a father and all that sort of thing. He was a role model from the '60s. Even though he did hang out at the Playboy Mansion. I remember seeing him on Playboy After Dark. But at that time, Playboy was the place for hip comedy. Dick Gregory, the Playboy clubs were the circuit for hip comedy, for like I said, Dick Gregory's, the Lenny Bruce's, and people you could express yourself. It was a young, hip, kind of free environment. Cosby went, he was there on the show. I remember from Little Girl. So my point is, yes, he was a superstar before he was Dr. Huxtable.
Okay. So Now I'm learning more. I didn't know all that. I thought it was after all of his movies with Sidney Poitier and Richard Pryor that he became the person he
was. One of the first black stars, if not the first, of a major television show. He was the co-star. He wasn't an extra, and he wasn't subservient, and he wasn't carrying the bags. He was the co-star of I Spy. It was a big hit show.
Oh, right. And he was a detective or something?
Yeah, a tennis player. Okay. And detective and spy, because in the 60s it was all about spies and super, cool hip agents and stuff. And so, and a lot of black actors and actresses got exposure on that show. I saw Nancy Wilson in an episode acting. She was gorgeous and she was just flawless, and they were, and I've seen, I'm pretty sure I saw Diana Sands and a lot of other black actors and actresses who got a shot because of Bill Cosby. And then he had at least 3 or 4 other TV series. There was The Cosby Show, The Bill Cosby Show, Cos. You know, he's had a lot of different television shows. He's done a lot of work with PBS and with the kids shows. And then there was Fat Albert, and not to mention his albums and his personal appearances. And he's been a superstar, icon, mover, and investor, and savvy businessman. Artist, collects black art and promotes black art. He's just, you know.
That just lets you know that nobody's above fucking up. Everybody can fuck up. Everybody. There's not a single person that can't fuck up.
He didn't come up on his Huxtableness accidentally.
Right.
Okay.
That was
But I
made
think that's
for
what we,
him.
Yeah, but I think we
because
see
of
him like that. Like, we see him like, no, not, like, when we even thought about it, like, no, Dr. Huxtable didn't do that.
Right.
Not actually Bill, though, because we don't know Bill. Like, the average person, you might know Bill, but the average person don't know Bill. You know the character that he plays, but we don't know Bill just chilling with a beer. We don't know what he talks like. We don't know what he thinks.
I don't know what the relationship, how the relationship ended between Bill and Lisa Bonet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like if even at that point, I think she would have came forward and said all the negative stuff she could have. She would have brought it to the table.
But she probably was
You
on
can't
some.
say what people would say and why they didn't.
Yeah,
We don't know what people might
I
say
just
and what
don't
might
feel
not
like
say.
I'm taking up for
I
Bill.
understand
don't-
that.
I
And
don't-
all
I
I'm
can't
saying
say
is, you just like you can't see. To me, it's funny. You can imagine what other people should have done,
right.
but you can't imagine what he might have done.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, you can't even say, like, he didn't do that.
we don't know.
Exactly.
Okay, we don't know. But if you were one of those women, and they're not all white women, they're not all whatever. If you were one of those women, what would you want?
If I'm one of them women, I know if I wanted something, I would have came out more than 40 years ago.
No, you don't.
I would have came out.
Because here again, you're putting yourself in this
So
2016.
they
You
have
don't
been
under-
married or
No,
they
you
may
don't
have been.
understand 1971. You don't understand 1968. You don't
You're right.
understand what it was like to be a woman
And I,
fighting these battles that get you to the point where you can come out and make allegations like this. This wasn't happening. Even if, in the 60s, even if this was happening, I'll give you an example. The Oklahoma cop
Mm-hmm.
that was raping the black women, you know how they were treated at first?
Mm-hmm.
That's how they treated all women.
Right. So they were thinking that these women were lying and making these stories up, and that.
If they were told, half of these women didn't tell.
okay.
Okay? So my point
And
is...
you know what? You're right, because I had an incident where I was date raped, and I went to the police and made a police report, and the media did a story in the newspaper, and at that point, when they saw the suspect's name, there were 2 or 3 people who came forward.
Right.
But this is my thing, too, though. Again, if you wait 40 years, like, don't get me wrong, in 2005, it came out again. So, like, I mean, it came out, and then 2005, it came out. Yeah, and then they did what they did. So a few people came out after that. But this is the thing, though. If you do that to maybe 3 girls, I think he did something to somebody. I do think he did something. I don't think he did that to 50 people. I don't think that happened. But I think he was inappropriate with somebody. But if you are inappropriate with 2 people, you look like a pervert. But if you're inappropriate to 50, you look like a monster. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference with that. Like, when we put that out there, like, he did this to 50 girls. Whether he did it or not, just putting it out there, it already put him in a whole nother category of situation, though. To where, like, 2 girls came out and said, Bill Cosby was inappropriate, he date raped them. But now 50 come out? Like, you got a serious, like, this guy is, hey, he's a monster. He has to go off the street. That's the picture that was painted. But also, these girls who didn't come out, like, even after 2005, like, even after it came out, like, whatever, you had 30 years to be holding in. You seen this dude all on TV all these years, working with all these kids, working with all these people, and it never crossed your mind like, man, this ain't cool. I need to go say something. So then all the other 50 or whatever that came out after 2005, the 38 or whatever, now you need to be held accountable. Because this happened and you didn't say nothing. You allowed 30-something more girls to get this happen to them. Where if you would have came out.
Hold it, though. We got to take a break.
You know.
We'll take a commercial break and be right back.
Commercial break.